Right, well, it's just me in my shed with my iPods again. It is probably day 9 or 10 of it being above 30 degrees in the day, so it's actually gone 8 o'clock now, but the light's still reasonably good. I've got a strip light going on, and I just wanted to walk through my experiences with my latest iPod acquisition, which cost me 74 quid. For one that's advertised as not working, which just shows you how ridiculous the market is these days, and obviously at some point I'll get therapy. Probably, to be fair, I think buying an iPod a week is cheaper than therapy, so let's not worry about it. This is the description. Excuse the reflection of the strip light. Very fair seller, no attempt to mislead. It's an A1238 120GB MP3 player in grey or black. Doesn't seem to connect to charger or computer. When you plug it in, the screen lights up, but it doesn't say that it's connected, but it does seem to charge. Does not show on computer or iTunes. Best for someone who's knowledge of these to buy. Well, it comes with box and dock adapter, no cables. Unfortunately, it hasn't been bought by someone who has knowledge of these things. It's been bought by me. And you know what they say, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Here's the box though, and this was a buy it now thing, and sometimes if I'm on the prowl on eBay, I look for a recently listed buy it now, and all this. So this was normally more than I'm prepared to pay. It's got a legit box listing. It is 120GB black, MP565. Here comes the unboxing. Da, 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 da. Oh no, it's not in there. Well, I've taken it out already, unfortunately, for you, for the older. Sorry if that's disappointing. There's like a little mini cradle thing there, but nothing too exciting in the box apart from the box itself. So we'll put the box to one side. And as described, first thing I did when receiving an iPod, excuse the fingerprints, is stick it into a Firewire charger like that, which, as I expected, charged up nicely. It came up with beautiful iPod screen. Let me just check I've done this. I think in display, hang on, let's show you, in brightness, I've put it on, it's on 50%, let's do it a little bit brighter for the purposes, but I've put the backlight on as always on, just so it doesn't keep timing out while I'm doing this video, you see, just to be a bit more professional about it. You can see it's 120 gigs, it's got 111 gigabyte free. If we go into settings and about, it's called Rando's iPod, as good a name as any. It's been completely wiped of any content, nothing of anything, 3 games as stock standard, and there's the serial numbers should you need it. I don't suppose you do. So all was good, and I was fully expecting once I plug this in, which I'm going to plug in over here now in the shed, that it would bring it back to life, but no such luck. It charged it up, but when I plugged it into a PC with a normal USB charger, again, which I'm now plugging in, it didn't do anything. And I'm getting to the crux of the matter. Pauses for a sip of tea. I was a bit puzzled as to what was wrong with it, because it looks nice, it looks fine. And I thought I would take a little bit of an adventure into the strange and wonderful world of iPod diagnostics, which means that I'm firstly going to have to reset this iPod by putting a finger on the home button and a finger on the menu button and pressing both. And then I'm going to go into investigation mode by keeping that finger on there and pressing that on there. I'm not going to do it too quickly. There are other more professional videos showing you how to do this, but they often go too fast. So we'll keep that down for about 6 seconds and it will reset. And then when it does reset, I'm going to move my finger over there, and it should, if everything goes right, go into diagnostics. which you can see there. It's asking me to press menu to go on manual test, which I'm going to do because I don't want everything. And we'll see if we can get to the bottom of what the problem is. You have to find the scroll wheel doesn't work brilliantly well while you're trying to navigate your way through here. In the NTF, there's an auto test option, which tests through various things. So there's the SD-RAM checked. Press menu to key test, and you can test various keys. The action key is the middle one, so if I press that, that should light up. The menu key, the play and the pause one there, the previous button there, and the next button there. They have all passed. Menu button again. We're now onto headphone detect. I'm scanning quickly around my shed because in order to test the headphones, we need to have some headphones. And what I have found is the power bank that I was looking for all around the house the other day before we went off to Oxford. It would be a very badly organised shed that didn't have an iPhone headphone socket. I'm trying to fool it because this is actually an aux to aux, but if I press, that's HP. Oh, hold switch detected. Hold switch detected equals, if you move it between there and there, yep, press this menu. Menu to continue. I've got the hold switch on, so that's not going to work, is it? Menu to continue. HP detect. I really literally had to Google this, but that's headphones. I'm hoping if I plug this in, even though it's not got headphones at the end of it, it turns to 1, and then that's pressed. I can press menu. So this is the accessory test. LCD equals 2. Menu to continue. So what it's asking for here, F is a Firewire and USB is the USB. The USB is already plugged in, so I can negotiate my way around that. If I unplug that and then reach over for the one that's plugged into the Firewire, that should pass that one. Obviously, if you haven't got a Firewire around the place, it would help if you had. So there we go. So now it wants the USB again, I think. Take that one out. There we go. So it's passed, and menu to continue. This bit I love. This is the colour test. So it's testing all the colours, and you just get some marvellous little slideshow. You just press the centre button to advance. It basically runs through various hues and shades of colour. Both colour and black and white. I'm famously not able to detect colours very well, but I'm sure you can see these. I'd guess that's red, though I'm not entirely confident. And I think that's green, but those are two of my weak spots. Some kind of blue, a rainbow effects, greys. You get some kind of checkerboard effect coming up. There we go, different intensities of different sizes of little red and white. Red and white, black, I told you it's called bad. Black and white checkerboard effects, some horizontal and vertical lines, and a little grey circle in the square. That's a square, Brian. There we go. Menu continue. So it seems to have passed all of those so far. So now I think if I press menu, we can go back to the memory test. Again, as I said, that it's a great time for the click wheel not to work very well. This one, if I do an SGM full tight, you need a power to work. So if I plug that in, there is a power supply there. Definitely is. So try the other one. Okay, unplug Firewire to reset. Oh, it needed a Firewire, that one, to test that. And it says backlight off will be fail, backlight flick is to pass. Don't be alarmed, but I think that if I pull this out, it will then flicker to show that it has passed with any luck. I think it does it after a while. I have unplugged it to reset it. Definitely worked for me earlier. There we go. We had a bit of a flicker. It's a reset it anyway. So none of this is getting through to the problem of why it's not working. There's a suggestion it could be something in there fluffed up or something. Also, you can have a damaged hard drive. I suspect that what I'm going to do is replace the hard drive in here with an iFlash card and an SD card and hope that that works. But I will just show you, and sorry this has gone on for longer than I thought, if we can go down to I/O, which I'm not a computer guy, but I think is input, output. I think that's the place where you check your hard drives. There we go, it was there. Stay, go down and stay. There's a good chap. There we go. Wheel, you can check by just, we've done the key test, haven't we? But we can go down to the wheel test and just move it around. You go, menu to continue. Go back, headphone detector. Let's go down to hard drive. Come on, down you come. There we go. HD Smart Data is, I think, the one you want. Let's connect to the light a bit. That will open the device, and you're looking here for. So retracts are when it's kind of been jogged or jarred and has had to restart again. They don't really matter, but I've got none. Reallocated sectors are sectors that have gone bad that have been reallocated. I've got none. I mean, that's really unheard of. That's very, very good stats, I think. Pending sectors, no. That's normally a transient figure that doesn't stay very long, but no, it seems to be about as good as you can get. This has been on for 985 hours. Start and stops 36,541. Presumably people like me trying to get to work again, but that's probably the only one of those stats that would worry me. Current temperature is 31 degrees, having told you. In fact, it's 20 past 8 at night, for goodness sake. I've turned the fan off, it's not too bad. Temperature min 5C, max 50C. So there's nothing here that says that this is a poorly iPod. Everything seems to check out for me. The only thing is if you plug it onto a computer, iTunes doesn't recognise it. It's not recognised as a drive. It's not recognised by Rockbox. You can, let's just see if I'm going to reboot it again and then move my finger to the bottom to go into disk mode. That's the bottom one there, which will put into disk mode. And then that should allow you to connect it and see what's going on, but doesn't seem to. So I think what I'm going to do is get in the guy, work out what's going on. But you might have more use than I have if you've got a problem with something. And obviously at £74, I don't want to just put it in a heap and forget about it, but that's a challenge. We'll see what we can do with it, see if we can make it work, because it's a nice enough machine. 120 gigabytes inside. This is the peak of iPod's creations, really, I think. They're not easy to get into, and it's easy to damage the case in doing so. But when you do, you've got movie potential, you've got all sorts of possibilities of stuff you could do that. Put photos on, see a recent video for details of how to do that. Turn it into a media server, see a recent detail of how to do that. Shuffle your songs and all that kind of stuff. I'm turning the backlight off back to 10 seconds and I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for listening to this long one. If you stuck it all the way through, give yourself an extra chocolate as a reward. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your life, enjoy your music, enjoy your iPods, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.